Welcome to Cineights, where you get to know the best movies and series. Today's video is the best movies in April 2024. Be sure to watch until the end. Please subscribe to the channel and like the video. The Holdovers. Alexander Payne's The Holdovers arrives on Prime Video this month at no extra cost to subscribers after debuting on streaming last year courtesy of Peacock. The film won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress thanks to the performance by Davine Joy Randolph. Paul Giamatti leads the period comedy drama as an ornery school teacher who is forced to chaperone students staying over at his prep school during the holiday break. From Variety's review, peer beyond the perfectly satisfying Christmas movie surface, and The Holdovers is a film about class and race, grief and resentment, opportunity and entitlement. It's that rare exception to the oft-heard complaint that they don't make 'em like they used to. Girls' State, a spiritual successor. The 2020 Texas-set documentary Boys State. Jesse Moss and Amanda McBain's Girls' State follow teenage girls attending a week-long Democratic camp in Missouri in which they work together to build a new kind of government in their image. The synopsis for the movie from Apple reads: what would American democracy look like in the hands of teenage girls? A political coming-of-age story and a stirring reimagination of what it means to govern. Girls' State follows young female leaders from wildly different backgrounds across Missouri as they navigate an immersive experiment to build a government from the ground up. She Came to Me. Indie comedies have often come in one of two flavors: sincere or quirky. Rebecca Miller's ardent ensemble comedy She Came to Me has the off-kilter deftness to be both at once. Its central figure is a celebrated composer of operas, played by Peter Dinklage at his most broodingly magnetic, who stops into a dive bar in the morning and gets picked up for an erotic adventure by a sexaholic tugboat captain, played with lived-in charm by Marissa Tomei. What follows is a cracked bedroom farce that's really a story of salvation. Miller's films, in their delicate humanity, are frail blossoms that have too often gotten lost. This one is worth finding. Wish. Disney's animated musical Wish did not exactly set the box office on fire last year, but the movie's streaming debut on Disney Plus is bound to increase viewership. Oscar winner Ariana DeBose voices Asha, who makes a wish so powerful that it is answered by a cosmic force, a little ball of boundless energy called Star. The two new friends team up to put a stop to the evil magic being conjured by King Magnifico. From Variety's review, Wish, Disney's lavish animated musical, doesn't look like the studio's other animated features. The images resemble softly drawn calendar art paintings, without the usual splashes of kaleidoscopic color here. A more muted palette of blue, green, gray, pink, and lavender creates a pleasing storybook texture. Late Night with the Devil. After breaking box office records for IFC Films, the horror movie Late Night with the Devil arrives on Shudder this month to keep the scares going. The third feature from Australia's directing duo the Cairns brothers is a clever construct in which a late-night network broadcast devolves into supernatural chaos on Halloween night. David Dastmalchian leads the film as the Johnny Carson-esque host, whose desire for big ratings leads to terrifying consequences when he invites an allegedly possessed girl onto the show. From Variety's review, this isn't the scariest movie, but neither is it entirely a self-conscious joke. The Cairns maintain an astute balance between pop culture irony, familiar if not always predictable thrills. Anyone But You. After becoming a surprise box office sensation with more than $215 million at the worldwide box office, Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell's romantic comedy Anyone But You makes its streaming debut on Netflix this month, where it's bound to keep being a big hit. The actors play former flames who reluctantly pose as a couple during a wedding weekend in Australia to keep their friends and family off their backs. From Variety's review, it's a gloss on Much Ado About Nothing, but Will Gluck's formula romantic comedy is most likable for the brash way it lets its two up-and-coming stars channel the age of antipathy it is, in many ways, as prefab as a lot of the rom-coms of the 90s and aughts, but there's something zesty and bracing about how it channels the anti-romanticism of the Tinder meets Me Too generation. Strange Way of Life. Pedro Almodovar's lavish Western short film Strange Way of Life debuted at the Cannes Film Festival last year and pairs Pedro Pascal opposite Ethan Hawke as two aging cowboys who were once secret romantic partners. They are reunited after 25 years when Hawke's Sheriff Jake seeks out his sister-in-law's murderer. The tension of the present and the eroticism of the past converge. This is a queer Western in the sense that there are two men, and they love each other, and they behave in that situation in an opposite way, said Almodovar last year. What I can tell you about the film is that it has a lot of the elements of the Western. It has the gunslinger. It has the ranch. It has the sheriff. But what it has that most Westerns don't have is the kind of dialogue that I don't think a Western film has ever captured between two men. And now I think I'm telling you too much. The Zone of Interest. Jonathan Glazer's masterpiece Holocaust drama The Zone of Interest picked up 2 Oscar wins last month for Best International Feature and Best Sound Design. The film was also named one of Variety's Best Movies of 2023 by chief film critic Owen Gleiberman, who wrote a movie that channels the horror of the Holocaust should hit you with the force of revelation. Yet too many movies with this subject matter do not. Jonathan Glazer's quietly shocking drama assuredly does. It's set in and around the stately German bourgeois home where Rudolf Haas, an SS officer, carries on a comfortable domestic existence with his wife, Hedwig, and children. The catch is he's the commandant of Auschwitz and the concentration camp is literally right over the wall next to their garden. Glazer creates an unnerving true-life fairy tale nightmare of evil, using the distant sounds of Auschwitz to evoke a monstrousness we can't see. Rebel Moon Part 2 The Scavenger, critics be damned. Zack Snyder's first Rebel Moon was widely panned when it debuted over Christmas, but the second part arrives this month in its continued CGI-heavy glory. The franchise follows a lone soldier named Cora, whose quiet life and community on a farming moon called Velt is threatened by the evil royal empire, the Imperium. Cora's new life is tragically interrupted and she's thrust back into war when the menacing Atticus Noble visits her planet on behalf of the Imperium's leader, Belisarius. Cora recruits a band of fighters, including Gunner, Darian Bloodaxe, Kai and a robot named Jimmy, to lead her resistance.